I woke to that gnawing feeling that everything had shifted. A hollow terror in your chest when your body knows something terrible approaches. Mariella's tent was abandoned, the sleeping mat still holding her warmth, but she was gone. Her flashlight sat useless beside the extinguished fire, while the Atacama wind shrieked across the canyon walls. "Mariella!" I shouted into the darkness, though I already knew the sand would steal my voice before it reached her. I scrambled to my feet, adrenaline burning through my veins. Her journal lay open on the rocky ground, page after page filled with detailed sketches of serpent patterns she'd been studying for months. Her distinctive blue shawl was scattered 25 meters from our camp, half swallowed by drifting sand. Beyond it, I saw something that made my blood freeze. A deep, undulating groove carved through the earth. Something immense had pulled itself across this terrain, leaving behind a channel so perfectly formed it couldn't be natural. Her boot prints stopped at the edge of that groove and simply vanished. My name is Marcus Thorne, once a respected geophysicist before I became a desert guide in these desolate lands. Mariella Santos, my brilliant anthropologist partner, blessed with those impossible emerald eyes that reflected starlight, had vanished during the night. We'd been hunting for a legendary pre-Incan temple that consumed her every waking thought. I tracked the trail through scorching hours as the sun threatened to burn the world itself, until I discovered an impossible freshwater spring surrounded by obsidian cliffs. In the shallow water, emerald scales reflected the light like fragments of crushed gemstones, identical to every sketch Mariella had made. Then she rose from the depths, with movements like liquid silk. Her head transformed into a magnificent serpent, crowned with emerald scales that caught the sunlight like precious gems, golden eyes with slitted pupils that locked onto me with predatory intensity. Her bronzed humanoid body flowed seamlessly into a tremendous serpentine form that twisted beneath the water, creating concentric rings across the surface. "You chose to come, Marcus," she said, in a voice that seemed to bypass my ears and speak directly into my consciousness. I recognized that stubborn quality in you the moment I met Mariella. Surrender to fate or perish trying. That's your nature. I instinctively reached for the machete strapped to my belt. "What are you? Where is she?" The archaeologist. Black hair, fierce as a storm. "My name is Yasara." She tilted her head with a gesture so distinctly familiar, it sent ice through my limbs. "The woman you love has chosen the path of transformation, one that only the initiated can comprehend. I can lead you to her, though the journey requires abandoning everything you understand about the world." We journeyed for 3 nights through shifting sands when the temperatures were survivable. Yasara moved across the desert floor with an almost hypnotic elegance, while I kept my distance, blade never far from my hands because every fiber of my being screamed that I was walking toward destruction. During our rest periods among weathered stone formations, Yasara revealed that the pyramid Mariella sought had been deliberately concealed by ancient Atacama shamans. It sheltered forbidden secrets about transcendence that Spanish conquistadors would have exploited without mercy. On the 3rd morning, we reached a concealed canyon, where she directed me to a cavern radiating an otherworldly jade luminescence. Intricate carvings covered every surface, depicting women ascending into serpentine creatures, submerging in sanctified waters, and emerging forever changed. I discovered Mariella's camera wedged in a stone crevice, her jacket torn to shreds, and a braid of her hair bound with her signature blue ribbon. "What did you do?" I screamed, charging forward with my machete, while fury overwhelmed all rational thought. Yasara's powerful tail wrapped around me, pinning me against the cavern wall and crushing the air from my lungs until black spots danced in my vision. "Listen carefully, you reckless fool," she hissed, and her voice shifted, becoming unmistakably Mariella's, the exact tone she used when reproaching me for careless decisions. The metamorphosis started within her long ago, faint scales across her shins that she kept hidden beneath clothing. If we reach the pyramid before tomorrow's eclipse, redemption is still attainable. My body went rigid, because that particular way of expressing herself, that specific cadence and inflection, was absolutely Mariella, my Mariella, when she was frustrated with my impulsive nature. "I remember that cafe in Lima during the monsoon," she continued, her emerging eyes now gleaming that unmistakable emerald shade. "The exact moment under Machu Picchu, when you stammered through an awkward marriage proposal, your hands trembling. It's genuinely me, Marcus. The artifact I discovered activated the transition when I broke the seal beneath our temporary camp. The change completed itself within just a few hours. I stared at her, searching for truth, and then I perceived it. The distinctive notch in her left eyebrow from that climbing accident we had years ago. Mariella's concentrated expression whenever she was working to convey something profoundly important. God help me, I breathed, feeling my foundation crumble away. It's really you. The Quetzalcoatl stone can undo this transformation, she explained as tremors ran through the stone and the sound of approaching hissing echoed closer. Yet it demands blood, freely given by a soul, bound by genuine devotion. Rush toward the pyramid now. I'll engage the other sentries for whatever time remains. The black limestone pyramid thrust upward from the sand like a terrible wound in the landscape. I sprinted through its entrance, with my lungs screaming while behind me. The sounds of combat intensified, furious shrieks and serpentine bodies thrashing against ancient stone, emerald flames materializing spontaneously to illuminate my passage. The chamber at the center displayed an octagonal design, with a pedestal bearing a stone of brilliant crimson, pulsing with the rhythm of something alive. Yasara arrived moments after me, her body streaming viscous green blood from terrible wounds. The Crimson Guardians with blazing amber eyes were forcing through the reinforced entrance. Your life essence on the stone, she gasped, her strength visibly draining. Surrender it voluntarily, never by force. Without hesitation, I dragged my blade across my palm, watching scarlet liquid pool and drip onto the crimson stone. It erupted in blinding radiance that burned itself into my retinas. Yasara's hands trembled as she made contact with the stone, while the Guardian sentries forced their way inside, with murderous purpose. Return to yourself, Mariella, I whispered, with an absolute certainty, born from 18 months of sharing her dreams. An incandescent surge enveloped everything, followed by an agonized scream that splintered the cavern walls. When my vision cleared, the Guardians stood completely motionless, their burning eyes gradually transforming from fiery red to peaceful emerald green, finally liberated from the curse that had enslaved them through countless generations. And in the place where Yasara had been, Mariella lay fully human, with her black hair spread across the stone, breathing steadily. I cradled her against me, feeling her genuine corporeal weight, and navigated through winding passages until we emerged into a verdant valley hidden among towering dunes, a sanctuary untouched by civilization. You succeeded, she whispered, as consciousness returned, her emerald gaze finding mine. You shattered the eternal cycle. You released the imprisoned sentries who suffered under that binding ritual for thousands upon thousands of years. 9 months later, our organization was channeling the ancient knowledge we'd supposedly recovered from lost Atacama records to restore barren landscapes into thriving wetland ecosystems. Mariella coordinated teams of international researchers while maintaining her extraordinary capability to partially shift her form whenever she desired. A deliberate emerald scale glimmered proudly along her wrist, a testament to what she had transcended. There are other sacred sites hidden across the continent, she mentioned to me one evening beneath the Peruvian stars, gazing from our Lima apartment balcony. Other guardians still imprisoned, still crying out for liberation from identical curses. Then we'll journey there as partners, I answered, drawing her close, because love that truly endures transcends physical boundaries. The desert keeps its greatest secrets well guarded. Some are destined for discovery, others desperately await someone courageous enough to set them free.